Oh, fish on. Fish on. We're limited out. All right, guys, number 6, we finally got him. What is up, everybody? Fish Hawk here. Today, we're gonna do some trout fishing at this small pond. They just stocked it a few days ago. We're gonna be using Powerbait to try and catch some fish. Powerbait is a great option when you're fishing for stock trout in ponds or lakes. Very easy to use and works great. I'm gonna give you guys some tips while I'm fishing today. We're also gonna keep whatever trout that we catch. My parents want some to eat, and that is the entire reason the state stocks these fish, is for people to catch, keep, and eat. There's a good many people here already, so we're gonna get out here, try and find a spot, and catch some fish. Stay tuned. All right, boys, hopefully the audio is not too terrible. A little breezy today. Kind of blowing right in our face, which is good. The rig we're using today, got a small hook right here. We have a little bit of a leader line, probably about a foot or so. We got a barrel swivel, and then we have a tiny bullet sinker. I'm using 4-pound test line, so I don't need much weight to get casting distance. 5'6" ultralight rod. Should be fun to hook some fish. Put up a little fight on this tiny rod. We're gonna go ahead and get baited up. We're gonna use some Powerbait. Anytime you're using Powerbait, make sure you press it and roll it into a tight, firm ball. That way it stays on your hook longer. Then what I do with the hook is just press it down right through the center of the Powerbait and then squeeze it around the hook. Some people like to cover the eye of the hook with the Powerbait. I never do, and it doesn't really seem to affect it. All right, first cast, boys. Always pay attention to where you make your first cast. If you get a bite, then you know to throw back in that general area. If you don't get a bite, then you can throw it in a different area. We only cast about 20 feet off the bank. Not very far, just a little toss. I'm hoping this strong wind in our face is pushing these fish up against the bank here. After you cast your bait out and set your rod up, I like to have a little bit of slack hanging out the end of the rod. That way when the fish picks up the bait, they don't feel any resistance. They can swim with it for a little bit. Once the slack runs out, you'll see your rod tip go and you can set the hook. Holy crap, there's a huge fish just jumped right there. If you make a cast and you don't get any bites or catch anything in about 15 minutes, I usually like to reel in and cast to a different spot. Oh, fish, 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 fish. My line's going real tight. Oh my God, I missed him. Nope, I got him. He was swimming right at me, I didn't even know it. All right, this fish swallowed the hook, which is what they normally do, but we're keeping them so it doesn't matter. All right, hook is out. We're gonna knock this fish out and put him away. Not a bad little fish. Not a huge fish by any means, but it's not bad. So like I was saying earlier, that little bit of slack hanging out the end of your rod tip allows the fish to grab the bait, swim with it, swallow the bait before he feels any resistance. If you have your line completely tight, reeled up tight, with the bait on the bottom, as soon as he grabs it and starts to swim with it, he'll feel resistance, and sometimes they'll let go. I was actually about to reel in, check my bait, and throw to a different spot, but since we caught that fish, I'll probably throw back in that general area. Today we are using Corn Powerbait. This is my all-time favorite Powerbait. It works very well. It's very bright. The fish can see it easily, and a lot of times these fish are feeding off of sight. I just looked at my GoPro and I've been recording for 28 minutes, so it took us around 20 minutes to catch our first fish. That's not too bad. One thing that's very helpful when you're trout fishing is having a stick or a rod holder to keep your rod off the ground. It allows you to watch your line easier, and it also keeps your rod and your reel out of the dirt. There are a lot of different rod holders on the market, but I like using a stick. It's free and it's easy. Powerbait fishing for trout is much like catfishing or bottom rig fishing at the beach. You're just casting your bait out there, you're letting it sit, and you're waiting for a bite. Sometimes you don't feel like going to the river or the stream and beating the brush, hiking a bunch. You just feel like coming to the pond or the lake, casting your bait out there and waiting for a bite, stand on the bank and relax. I forgot to mention this earlier, but the line I'm using is P-Line Fluoro Clear. It's 4-pound test line. It's a great option for trout fishing because it's pretty much invisible. If you've been fishing for a while and you haven't got any bites, a few things you can do is change your leader length. You can make it shorter or longer. You can change your power bait, maybe a different color, and you can also cast in a different spot. Changing your leader length could help you find the fish. For example, say you're using a leader 6 to 8 inches. If those fish are suspended 2 feet off the bottom, they may not see your bait. If you change your leader length to about 2 foot, then that bait will be right in front of the fish. Sometimes you just have to play around with your leader length until you get some bites. Most of you guys watching know that I love fishing rivers, creeks, and streams for trout. I love being active. I love using artificial lures like spinners, trout magnets, that sort of thing. But all the rivers, creeks, and streams around me are completely flooded. They're unfishable. We've had a ton of rain the past few weeks. I've been trying to get out there, but we're stuck with what we got. We have to fish the bodies of water that are fishable, and that is ponds and lakes. Oh, fish on. Fish on. Oh my God. I was messing around with something else. Wasn't even paying attention. Just turned around and my rod's thumping. This one seems to be a little better one. Oh yeah. That one's not bad. Oh man, he's lip hooked. Holy crap. Can you believe that? Freaking lip hooked. This trout here just lip hooked. Fins are all tore up. We're going to go ahead and get this hook out. We got to get some fresh bait on here and get back out there. This is a spot I've been wanting to fish at, but when I first got here this morning, there was a bunch of people here. All right, guys, we moved down here. This is the spot that I really wanted to fish this morning when I got here, but there was a bunch of people here and they all left because they all caught their limit. So I'm down here now and hopefully the fishing gets a little better. We've been at this new spot for about 20 minutes now, no hits. I think I'm gonna reel in, lengthen my leader just a little bit, and then we'll get back out there. We're rigged back up. I made my leader a little longer and we'll see if that does the trick. Snack time. Oh, I got a fish. Did he really? Every time I turn around, that happens. Oh, he swallowed it. Guys, I swear, every time I turn around to do something, I was putting my Mountain Dew back in my cooler and he bit. Third fish, decent little rainbow, got a little belly. We just caught our third fish and it was shortly after I made my leader just a little longer. I had thrown back out there, it wasn't even 5 minutes. Turned around to put my drink back in my cooler and he bit, so making that leader a little longer apparently helped. We're gonna get baited back up and see if we can catch another. What's really funny about the last two fish that I caught, they actually bit when I was turned around, not even paying attention to my rod. And here goes another one. Oh! Missed him. We just missed one. He took my bait, so we're baited back up. See if we can get him. Oh, fish, 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 fish. Got him. Oh yeah, we got him that time. We got him that time. Oh, not a bad one. All right, guys, we just caught number 4, decent little rainbow trout. We're gonna go ahead and put him in the bag with the rest of the fish. All right, guys, we're up to 4 fish now. We only need 2 more and we'll have our limit. We can go home and warm up. The wind is making me pretty cold. We're gonna try and cast in that same spot. We've caught 2 out of that spot, so I'm gonna try and keep casting in that same general area. Yeah, right there. That's right where they're at. We've caught 4 fish so far. I think I deserve a little treat. We're gonna have a little fun-sized Snickers here to celebrate our 4 fish. If you start catching fish in a certain area, a certain spot that you're casting to, keep that spot in mind and keep casting to it. There's obviously something there that those fish like. That's why they're staying there, and you should be able to keep catching fish as long as you cast to that same area. Oh, fish, fish. Got him that time. Got him that time. Ain't getting away this time, boy. As soon as I stop paying attention, that's what it takes sometimes. Oh, that's not a bad one.
Jumped on that pretty quick.
Heck yeah.
When it hit, you gotta get it.
Yeah, you gotta be ready. That's number 5. Look at the fins on this guy. His fins are completely tore up from being in the hatchery, but he's gonna be dinner now. We only need 1 more trout for our limit. The limit is 6 here in Virginia. Let's see if we can do it. I've always heard the last fish is the hardest. We gotta cast to our spot one last time, see if we can get number 6. I knew that would happen. Oh yes, I got him. I knew if I walked away and started talking to you, I'd get one. Smallest one of the day, but it's number 6. We are done. We are limited out. All right, guys, number 6, we finally got him. We missed quite a few, but now we have to go home and clean these fish. All right, guys, I am heading home. Had a pretty good morning. Caught my limit of trout, 6 total trout, all rainbow trout, and caught them all on Powerbait. About halfway through the morning, I changed my leader length. I made it a little longer, and that's when the fish really started hitting. And that's what I was telling you guys earlier. Play around with your leader length and see where those fish are in relation to the bottom. If you make it a little shorter or a little longer, it may get you some more bites. Another thing is to make sure you guys pay attention to where you're casting your bait. If you catch a fish, try to cast back in that general area. If you don't catch a fish in like 15 or 20 minutes, you can cast to a different spot. Try to find the fish. There towards the end of my fishing session, I was casting it in the same exact spot over and over and over. I probably caught my last 4 fish from that same exact spot and missed another 3 or 4 fish from that spot. So once I found them, I kept casting to that same spot and it worked out. I hope the tips help you guys catch more fish. If you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, check out the Fish Hawk merch, link down in the description. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Fish Hawk out.